What's going on, guys? Hazy here. Welcome back to another video on the channel today. Now, we've just finished off the online regionals here in Oceania again. Obviously, we had the offline regionals last week. You guys would have seen a couple of deck profiles on the channel already. So today we are joined by, for those that have supported me throughout the years, you all know her as Mrs. Hazy. But we've got my lovely wife, Dhanni, here, and today she managed to get top 8 with the new Gohan deck. So first up, massive congratulations to you. Obviously, very stoked. Your highest finished. Unfortunately, the only downside is that there's no serial for top 8 at the moment, which was a bit of a bummer. But nonetheless, can't take away the extraordinary effort that you've done piloting this deck. So we'll let you take over and give us a bit of a rundown of what you ran in the deck.
All right. Hey, everyone. He's finally worn me down to do a deck profile. So we're running the new set Sun Gohan childhood card. Beautiful card. I love my childhood cards. So I saw this deck and I thought it'd be great fun. So on the leader front, when you place this in your leader area, you play out your hyperbolic time chamber as your field card. I'll get to that in a minute, but basically when you attack with this, you look at top 5, you add up to 1 green Saiyan to your hand, no cost, and then shuffle your deck.
It's so strong because it hasn't got an energy restriction, so you can literally search for any Saiyan in your deck.
Basically, it's pretty good. Awaken conditions, so 4 or less life, or I have a SS Sun Goku showing the results of training in play. I then draw 1, untap an energy, take my life down to 6 if I don't already, and flip him over. On leader back, beautiful card. 2 autos, really good. I can use it with the leader, or there's other Sun Gohan childhood cards I can use it with. So first auto, once per turn. Place a card from my hand at the bottom of my deck when I use a card in a combo, and then I draw 2. So it's really good to filter stuff back in, or something that I'm not going to need or use. Really
relevant because that to me says you can do it on both turns, on your opponent and your turn.
Yeah, basically. Second auto, once per turn. So when one of my mono green Sun Gohan childhood battle cards attacks, I use up to 1 mono green card with 5,000 combo power from my drop in a combo, and then I negate the skills of that auto for the turn. Really good then to be able to put stuff back into my Z energy as well, and can filter stuff through.
And it also triggers your first auto, so you don't have to combo a card from hand.
No, exactly. So if I'm not
no, you do have to combo a card from your hand.
Yeah, sorry, I do. Field card then. It's got barrier, most do. Permanent, if there is a Sun Gohan childhood card underneath my lead, under this, my leader gains 5k power. Actually, I do have to admit, I kept forgetting about that permanent today, and I didn't use it. But that's all good. Second permanent, I can only have 2 cards underneath my field card, which isn't too bad because it's typically how you run it with this deck anyway. Activate main once per turn. If all my energy is green, and for the most part I'm running just green in this deck, there's 1 or 2 cards that aren't. This card's in active mode. I can play out 1 card from underneath this. If I do, I can choose to take up to 2 life. Most times today I didn't actually take any life with that. Mm-hmm. So there's the 2 on board. Now I'll get to my deck. So I am running 4 of the SS Vegeta Arrogance. This one here, basically, I want him in hand first turn, whether I go first or second. I'm going to do activate main, pay 1 green energy, slip him underneath, or rest my hyperbolic time chamber, slip him underneath, and then I will search through my deck to grab out the SS Trunks Mystery, and he gets popped on underneath as well. So I run 4 of those in my deck. I'm also running 4 of the Trunks as well. Yep. So basically, that's all I'm going to be doing turn 1, is popping Vegeta and my Trunks, hopefully just under the hyperbolic time chamber. Next turn then, we can activate the main. I'm going to play out Trunks first, Vegeta first, sorry. Auto, when he's played out from the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, he gets an extra 5k power. And then I can combo him when he's in rest mode. So we'll play him out. I'll attack with him. The auto, second auto, then triggers when I attack with him to then play out the Trunks with a combo, as combo on this card. Giving it obviously a 5k combo, but also gives him critical, and I draw a card, which is pretty good. I tend to then Z-charge my Trunks, and then I'll play out some cards from my Z deck. Then he pops him, once I've used him from my Z energy, pop him into the drop. His activate main there is I can, if my leader is Green Sun Gohan, I remove this card from the field.
From the game.
I then play him out, and he gains an extra 10,000 power for the turn when he's in drop.
And you discard a card from hand for the Trunks when you do that?
So, pay one, discard one card from hand. So I can discard just about anything I want. So that's a nice little package. Gets it rotating through. Most times I'm only going to be playing it that first turn or so. So those two are what you play together. So that's my first little bit there. So talking about once what I'm using with Trunks. So I'm going to be jumping between a little bit of my main deck and my Z, because that's how it needs to play. So we've got the SS Goku assisting his son. 1 energy, 1 Z energy. I'm going to play him out. I need to have 2 or more energy. I'm going to switch my Hyperbolic Time Chamber to rest. And that is going to allow me to play my next grouping here. So basically I want either my SS Son Gohan, or I want my SS Son Goku, showing the results of training in hand. If I have that, with this card coming out, I pop either one underneath my Hyperbolic Time Chamber and then search through deck again to find the other one. When this one is played as well, it KOs an opponent's battle card, energy 3 or less. Doesn't hit barrier though, which is a little bit of a pain. Not a lot in this deck does hit barrier, but otherwise it's still really fun. The other good thing is I have him sit on board. Later on I can activate main, pay 1 energy, basically give my Gohan leader an extra 10,000k power to swing with. So it's a bonus. Basically he sits there, and that's the only other thing I use him for. I do run 2 of those in there because I have had some times where people have removed them from there without me being able to play either of those out. So if we have a look at this little package here of the Goku and Gohan. So typically once they're underneath, we'll play one out. I play the Goku out first. When it's played out from underneath the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, he gets 10,000 power for the turn. Pretty good. I'm going to swing with him. Once he is in play though, I'm able to awaken my leader. So either with leader, take it down to 4, or he needs to be in play. Don't do what I've did in some games. Swing with him, then pay the 1 and drop him and forget to awaken. Bad mistake. So second auto then, again, that's with the placing underneath the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Then you've got your activate main there. Basically, once I've swung with him, pay 1 energy, place him in the drop. I draw a card, and then I play out the Gohan from underneath the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Both Goku has barrier, Gohan has deflect. When Gohan is played out, I choose one of my opponent's battle cards and KO it. Doesn't have a cost, which is really good. So, you know, someone playing out at 8 cost or something there, play him out and it's going to KO it. Just doesn't hit anything with barrier. Auto as well. If this card's in a battle, I can use my SS Son Goku in a combo. If I use that, I choose one of my opponent's unisons and I remove 2 markers from it. I only used that auto once today. That was when I was playing against, pretty sure it was when I was playing against Peter Brock, who I actually lost to, so that was my third game, and just to remove some markers from his Unison. The other good thing, this being the SS Sun Gohan childhood card, this is where the other autos on my leader come into play, being able to play combos from my drop. So with those, I run 4 of each. There you go. 4 of each of those in there as well. So that's kind of my second little package. Usually what I want to do, second, third turn to get that rolling. Now, I run just one of these in my deck. I've had a few people tell me not to, but this actually made a big difference today in 2 of my games. So the SS Sun Go Believing in His Son. It's a double strike. I can play him out for 1 when I've using that previous package. So it costs 1 if my leader's the Gohan Childhood. I have 3 or more energy, and I have the Gohan Childhood card in a battle, and I use a Saiyan in a combo. I draw a card and I play him out. Double strike. Then the other permanent, which is where what saved me, is if this card is in rest mode, my opponent can't attack my leader. So basically, they need to kill this to be able to attack my leader, which has stopped quite a few games, stopped a few things when I've used some of my floodgates. So it's a nice fun one to have in there. I only run 1, and it's something different. Not everyone thinks it's going to play in there. Next up, I am running 3 of the Goku Decisions Made. So counterplay, limit 1, I play the card. I need to have Z energy, my Z cost up to 3 to be able to get it for a 1 cost. Otherwise, it is my 4. So if I've got my Z Awakened leader, it costs me 1 to play it. It plays a card. Auto then pops. I add it to my Z energy. When it's put into my Z energy, I choose one of my opponent's battle cards. Energy costs 7 or less, and they have to pop it into their Z energy. And then I can also choose one of my opponent's Unisons and remove 2 markers from it. Haven't really used the second part with removing the markers, but being able to remove 7 cost or less from their board is really handy. So I run 3 of those, which is pretty fun. We then come up and I am running 3 of my 8 costs. SS Goku, SS Sun Goku, and Gohan, Father-Son Solidarity. This is a pretty fun card. Can be a little bit nasty. Activate main down the bottom, limit 1. My leader's green. My opponent has to have 3 or more energy though. So you got to make sure that they've got that 3 energy there. I play this card from my hand and it gains barrier for the turn. So 2 cost card coming out there. He has deflect, will then get barrier and also a double strike. 35k power, he's a bit nasty. Auto, there's 2 here. First one is when he attacks, I choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and I KO it. Worked really good in the Trunks GDR matchup I had today. Could get rid of some of his cards there. And then they also discard a card from their hand to drop. So it's good for a little bit of hand removal and board removal. Second auto, once per turn. If it's my turn, your opponent has 3 or more life. So you do want to make sure you're using this while they've still got 3 or more life there. And I combo one of the green Goku cards with a combo cost. Sorry, just trying to write this upside down. Cards with the combo cost of 1 in their combo. Your opponent places 1 card from their life in their drop. I did this against one of my games. Basically swung with it, comboed with my 1 cost Goku, and they only had 1 life left, so they didn't even need it. It killed them straight up, without even them needing to combo out of it. But you do need to have the 1 cost Son Goku card.
Yeah.
Which is the decisions made there. So that's pretty handy.
So do you mean that when you combo, they go from 3 to 2, and then you can kill them with the double strike.
That's correct. Yep, sorry. Combo with it. Yep, they lose a life. You've got the combo power there, and double strike kills them. So they're 3 less life. This one card can kill them with 3 life there, which is fun. That one there, to be able to play, when you've got your Z Awaken leader, you can play the Goku from the drop, with this being the Son Gohan childhood card. Now, my next little combo here that I play, I've had a few people tell me not to play it, but it's something a little bit different, a little bit fun, and again, most people aren't expecting it to be in there. I could swap them out to have more of the freezer package, but I don't mind this. So I'm running 3 of the Son Goku Fated Rivals and 2 of the Piccolo Fated Rivals. So we've got Goku, Double Strike Barrier. Basically for him, I'm doing my Activate main to play him out. If an opponent has 3 or more energy, and I place one of my Saiyan, Earthling, or Namekian cards being green from my Z energy to the bottom of my deck, I play this from hand. So it's a really good way to be able to cycle some of my cards from my Z energy back into my deck. It's a good way to bring my super combos back into my deck, which is really nice. And then with this one here, my auto leader is green. When this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and I KO it. So a good way to remove something from the board. Piccolo, only running 2 of him. They have Son Goku Fated Rival out. I can play him out for 1. So pay 1 energy, play him out from my hand, and then choose one of your opponent's unisons and remove a marker from it for each card in my Z energy. So I've got 4 cards in my Z energy. I'm going to remove 4 markers from it. He is a dual attack. And if my leader is green, when I attack with it, my opponent discards a card from their hand. So, this one, my double strike, removing cards from their field. Piccolo, removing cards from hand, and can remove some markers of unison. So, something a little bit different, a little bit fun, but it works well. Next, I'm running just one of my Kaioken Son Goku Furious.
Because we only own one.
True, we've only got one at the moment, and it's a winner. I didn't actually play him today, but he is handy. He's basically a 1-cost critical I can get out.
And some more hand control.
Pardon?
And some more hand control.
And hand control, yeah. So, activate main, limit 1. If I have 3 or more energy, play this card from my hand. So, play him out for 1. I've got an activate battle there. Can pay 1 energy, give him an extra 10,000k. For the battle, next turn he does lose that 10k and becomes 5 though. Doesn't worry me too much. But auto, when it's played, from my hand, my opponent discards a card. So a good way, removing an extra card from their hand. So just one of those.
And it's crit, so it's something they have to answer.
Yeah, that's it. Good to play it out before you play some big ones if you can as well. Being crit. I'm running 2 of the surprise attack freezes. Basically, when I KO a card, I can play him from my hand for free if I don't have him on board. It's a critical again, 15k. It's good. Something that they're probably going to, try and bait out them to use a negate against. So then I can play out another card. When I play out another card to try and hurt them. So it's more of a baiting card I use this for, to remove some cards from hand or remove negates from their hand with that. Next up, I'm running 2 of the promo Grade 8 Vegetas, Last Dish Transformation. Basically 1 cost because I've got my field card there. The other auto and activate battle don't come into effect because I don't have the right leader for it. But he's a critical 19k, or I can use him as a blocker. So it's handy to have it there sometimes if you just need something, for next turn. It's only going to cost you 1 to have him there, and or a 19k critical. Again, try and play some cards out from their hand. Now, two of the cards that aren't green that I play, my Overwhelm, Vegeta, use him for some hand removal again. Overwhelm 6, so 6 cards. In my drop, send him to my warp, play him out. Opponent has to choose one card in their hand, send it to the warp, and then it's a 30k swing. So I run 2 of those. I used him quite a few times today. Play him out, then play the big 8 drop for 2, or playing my SCR. So I use him first to get rid of some cards from their hand. And then they've obviously need to combo up with him being a 30k hitter. So 2 blacks there. Now have a look. I'm running 2 of the Cannon Negate Goku Command Deflection. Negates the attack. Choose one of my opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less and KO it. So negates the attack and can KO a card on board. Doesn't ignore barrier, but it's good to remove something there. And I play this one in there because I don't need to be 4 or less life for it, the effect to play off. Limit 1 per turn though, so I'm only running 2. I've got, next up, just one of the counterplay focus breakthroughs. I didn't use him today. I've also got a second one sitting in my side deck if needed. But basically my lead is green, my life is at 4 or less. If the battle card being played has an energy cost of 3 or less, it's placed in its owner's drop instead of being played.
So it stops those floodgates from shutting down your turn.
So again, I didn't really need to use it today. Nothing there really warranted me playing it to help me out. But it is handy to have, and then a second one in my side. I am running 2 of the Cell Earth Destroying Kamehamehas. He did come in handy. So he's an activate battle. I pay 1. My leader's green. I choose up to one of my leaders or a battle card. Give it 15k power for the duration of the battle. Really good just for an extra 15k there. Auto, if all my energy is green, when I activate this card, you choose one of my opponent's, a card from my opponent's hand, and they place in their drop. So again, good being green there. I can also remove something from their hand, whether it's a super combo, remove, negate, something like that. So I run 2 of those, really beneficial. Coming up next with some more of my counterattacks. Running 2 of the clones, basically negate, give me a token blocker. Don't typically pay the cost for him. I use him, take 1 life and play it. Usually against the bigger strikes, whether it's a dual attack, double strike, triple attack, anything like that. So just run 2 of him. My next negate is going to be the Unleashing Awakened Rage. This one here definitely stopped my opponent with their attacks. He's a 1 cost. Counter attack, limit 1. If my leader's green, say, I negate the attack. Additionally, if my life is at 4 or less, I discard a card from hand, and then every time that they attack, whether it be they attack a battle card, leader, anything, with anything that they attack, they have to place a card from their hand to their Z energy. So a nice little bit of a floodgate there, especially when they don't have many cards in hand, so they can't keep attacking me. Really hurts them. I comboed this really nicely with that once off Goku that they went to swing with my Goku that had my leader that they needed to kill before attacking leader. Played him out. Blocked it. They had to keep trying to kill that Goku, but discarding before they could even try and take life. And the opponent's like, no, do you know what? Pass turn, won the next turn. So it is really nasty. Great permanent on this though is I can actually activate this counter by discarding a green card from my hand. So it can be, if I don't have any energy open, pay 1, play him out, discard 1, play him out, discard a second one to get that floodgate there. Also, when I play him, I draw a card. So really, it's only going to cost me 1 and no energy to play him out and give a bit of a floodgate with 4 or less. So definitely keeping the 4 in there. I really do enjoy playing that. Next up, we have got my super combos. Running 4 of the Paragus super combo. Basically, life is at 4 or less. I draw 2 and then warp 1. 10,000k allows me, super combo. So that's pretty handy. I was playing the Saiyan Man in there at locals on Friday night. So I changed. This was one of the changes I made for today's game last night. I don't mind playing either one. This one's obviously handy because you can play the 2 cards, and if you draw one you don't like, you can warp that instead. Only problem is you're warping cards that aren't going to be able to get recycled back in at all. Lastly, we've got 2 cards left here for my main deck. 1 Quartzikai. Last black card in my main deck. I didn't actually use him today. Basically used him to discard, but it is handy to have there. Remove the card from my drop. Pay 1. I can choose up to 2 cards in my hand, slot them back in, and then pull out 2 cards from the thing. Bit of a way to shuffle out cards that I don't need or don't want in my hand. Additionally, then if my opponent plays a battle card 20k power or less, they choose 2 cards from their hand and then they have to send them to the warp. So that is a really good card to have against some matchups. I just didn't need him today. Lastly, my big boy Selmax. So I'm running him as my SCR in deck instead of the new Goku. I did have the Goku. I got rid of him. I prefer to play the Selmax in there. I can play him out for 1 because my leader's green. He's a quad strike, 40,000. Every time I swung with him, he didn't actually really do any. I didn't get damage done through with him. But what I like about him is he's permanent. If I have 3 or less energy, can't attack with him. But the auto there, if a skill would be to remove this card from the battle area, choose all of my opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, I KO them, and they lose life. Go straight to drop. That there obviously stops them from being able to get rid of this card. And then he stays there, and I can swing with again at a quad strike next time. This did help. I didn't see him in most games, but I prefer running this SCR over running the Goku myself. So that there is my main deck. We'll have a quick look here at what I'm running in my Z deck. So we've got Android 16 Final Wish. Needing to awaken my leader, and then I'm going to play him out for 1 and 1 Z energy. He's the deflect and blocker and Z stack 1. So you're going to be Z stacking the Z Awaken, Son Goku triggered to the Fierce Rage. There. Play him out. Basically, you can't play him unless your leader is the Gohan, because otherwise the skills will be negated. Permanent, if my leader's a Gohan or is lots of thing. If he dies, so basically when I block with him, that'll get played on top of my leader. The other auto is, so your opponent plays a battle card, or at the end of the turn, alternatively, I can KO this and play this on top, and Z Awaken. So 3 different ways that I can play out my Z leader, my Z Awaken from underneath Android. But he's good. I like to use him as a bit of a block and then play him out. So Z Awaken, go from 15 to 20k. He is a double strike. Alternatively, I can Z Awaken by paying 2 energy when my life is at 3 or less. I find it easier to play him under the Android 16. Auto with him. When one of my mono green Son Goku childhood attacks, I can use up to 1 mono green Son Goku with 10,000 combo power, or less from my drop with its skills negated, on that card. So I can use my 8 cost, I can use the 4 cost Son Goku, Son Gohan childhood card there. When I attack with them, I can combo with that 10k Goku, which is handy. Second one, activate main. I use this pretty much every time. I discard a green card and draw 2. So again, just rotating out what's in my hand that I don't need to bring some fresh stuff in to help. Next up, I'm running 2 freezes, Resurrection, Ambition. It's good. Cost 2 energy, 1 Z card. He's deflect and double strike. When it's played, I choose one of my opponent's battle cards. Energy cost 5 or less, KO it. When I use him, I can play out that other freezer from when I KO a card, which is handy. And then auto, once per turn, I can place one of my Z energy into my drop, and anytime I attack with a green battle card, 2 or more, my opponent discards a card. So I run 2 of those in there. It's handy, double strike, bit of hand discard if you can.
You tie it in well with the boss monster. You make him discard 2 when you swing with the boss monster.
That is correct. I just don't have the boss monster sitting in here. Oh, the 8 cost go. Yeah, sorry. 8 cost go. Yep, discard. I'm running 1 Jiren. I contemplating removing him out and changing it for something else because I just haven't actually used him. 2 energy cost, 2 Z energy. Deflect. When it's played, I can choose one of my green battle cards, energy cost of 5 or less, and my opponent can't remove it with skills from my battle area to the end of their next turn. So that's pretty handy there. Additionally, the activate main limit 1. Place any number of my Z energy cards into my owner's drop, and then choose one of my opponent's unisons and remove a marker for it for each Z energy put in the drop. If I drop 2 or more by this skill, this card gets double strike and an extra 10,000k. So it's a handy card to have. I just don't play that much. I tend to be playing at the freezer more because it's KOing a card, and then I can get them to hand discard. So that is my Z energy there. Z deck that I'm playing. Quickly run through what I've got for my side deck. I didn't side much today. Running 3 of the Vegeta Margin Exterminator. So I did side these in. 1 cost, if my leader's green, when this card is discarded from my hand by an opponent's skill, I play it for my drop, and when it's played, I draw a card. 3 of those in there. I did side them in, never use them. But handy to have depending what I play against. Again, second focus breakthrough is there. We're running 2 of the Deborah Ritual at hands. So auto again, when it's discarded from my hand by an opponent's skill, pay 1, play it from the drop. When it's played, I draw 2 cards.
Mm-hmm. So basically we stocked up on the hand discard in case the green Gohan was floating around, and unfortunately last event she got mauled by hand discard. So
I did play up against the Sun Gohan, but he never played anything that... So I sided them in for that, but I didn't need to use them. He didn't play anything with any hand discard there for me. I'm then running 3 Vegeta protecting his loved ones. So he's got barrier. I did use this when I played against Peter. It did help a little bit. It's the only game I played against, but basically auto. When this card is played, I draw a card. Auto once per turn. If my opponent switches in energy active mode using a counter, they place 1 card from their life and 1 card from their energy in their drop. So that can be pretty nasty playing against some of your blue decks. So it's good to have there for my side. I just didn't know what I was going to be up against today. So 3 of those in my side. I'm then running 2 Sun Gohan Latent Power Unleashed. Again, I didn't use any of these remaining cards, but they were handy to have depending what I decked up against. So most people know this one. Deflect, critical, auto, pay 1, my leader's green. When this card is added to my Z energy, choose one of my opponent's unisons, remove 3 markers from it. That's probably the biggest thing that you can use it for. Was why I really cited it. Next up, 2 of the Urgent Aid Kamis. 1 cost, when it's played, draw a card. Handy to bring some more in. Auto, once per turn, when your opponent switches an energy to active mode using a non-awakened skill during their turn. Choose one of my opponent's energy and place it in their drop. So again, really good to use against blues, but I didn't need it today. But definitely keep it there. Lastly, running to the Yamcha, the Cunnings. So when it's played, draw a card again. For the duration of the game, if the turn player would use the skills of a battle card or an extra card to switch energy to active mode, they can't switch that energy to active mode unless they place 5 cards from their drop 2 and send them to the warp. So it would have been good if I come up and get Android 21 or anything else. So running 2 in there, just depending what comes out. But there we go, everyone. That there is my deck profile. Please be nice. I haven't done one before. I know my deck's a little bit different, but I did have a lot of fun today. Played 5 games. Played against Yellow Vegeta, won. Played against the Sun Gohan, Former Glory, Green, won that one. Blue, sorry, won that one. Third game I lost against Peter. He was playing, I think it was set 10, Fuzamazu. And I just had no idea what that deck was doing. So it just gobbled me up pretty much. I didn't have anything to counter with what he was doing, and he just stopped pretty much all my plays out. I think he won by a great margin with that one. I then played against Sun Gohan, Results Fudley Training, won, and then my last game was against Red Pan, and won that one. So got 8th overall. Like Chris said, sucked a little bit. I didn't get a serialized card, which would have been pretty exciting. But I did have a lot of fun playing green deck. First green deck playing, basically. And, you know, I'll keep tweaking with it. Make it more to just how I play my style. But thank you, everyone, for watching. And, you know, any questions or comments, definitely pop them through. And we'll see you guys all at the next regionals. See ya.